Now, worrying trends brings back deja vu of the deadly second COVID wave in India. Cases continue to surge across India, with Omicron fueling the surge even as states impose strict curbs. Here's our ground report coming in from reporters across India.
Empty roads, shops, markets, and malls all shut. Top metros in the country spent weekend with sweeping COVID curbs in a bid to contain the monster surge in COVID cases across the country. In the national capital, where strict weekend curbs are in place, cases have continued to surge with the positivity rate nearing 20%.
Yesterday, the country registered its maximum spike in COVID cases since the last 7 months. It crossed the 1,41,000 mark in the national capital. The positivity rate is about to touch the 20% mark. At the behest of that, we see that there's a crucial meeting by the Delhi Disaster Management Authority that's scheduled tomorrow, where further restrictions will be thought about and the details will then after be shared in that meeting that will be held tomorrow.
The Delhi Chief Minister, who had himself tested positive for COVID just days ago, had some encouraging words after recovering, ruling out a lockdown and pointing to lower death rates.
कल वाला जो हेल्थ बुलेटिन था उसमें लगभग 20,000 के करीब केसेस आए थे और आज शाम को जो हेल्थ बुलेटिन आएगा उसमें लगभग 22,000 केसेस, पिछले 24 घंटे के 22,000 केसेस आएंगे। तो डेली बहुत तेज़ी से केसेस बढ़ रहे हैं, जिसको जो एक चिंता का विषय तो है, लेकिन जैसे मैंने पहले भी बोला था, घबराने की बात नहीं है। कई लोग मेरे से प्रश्न पूछ रहे हैं, लॉकडाउन लगेगा? हम लॉकडाउन नहीं लगाना चाहते, लॉकडाउन नहीं लगेगा अगर आप मास्क पहनोगे तो।
In Maharashtra, the worst hit state, fresh curbs have kicked in. A night curfew begins from Monday from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. Swimming pools, gyms, spas and salons will also remain shut. New curbs don't permit movement of more than 5 people in a group. Schools will also remain shut till February 15.
Many other pointers have been put out in the list of restrictions. This on account of the fact that Mumbai and Maharashtra are recording high COVID numbers. On a daily basis now, Mumbai is recording more than 20,000 cases. Maharashtra yesterday recorded more than 40,000 cases.
Tamil Nadu saw a complete lockdown on Sunday. Only essential shops were allowed to function and timing of restaurants capped.
With the case numbers of COVID-19 increasing without any control in the state of Tamil Nadu, the state government has been forced to impose lockdown again. In fact, in the state of Tamil Nadu, night curfew is already in place, which is from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m., while Sunday has also been announced as a total lockdown, and this is how the city looks. This is Chennai and one of the important junctions in Chennai called as Khattipara, and there is not much movement over here at all. If you need to leave your home, you need to have a valid reason, and all essential services are allowed, but at the same time, everything else is shut.
Increased curbs and cases come in the shadow of a big surge in Omicron cases, driving the third wave. Experts predict that India's COVID cases may peak in February and the worst may be yet to come. With Shreya Chatterjee in Delhi, Pankaj Upadhyay in Mumbai and Pramod Madhav in Chennai, Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, the much-awaited rollout of the third dose of COVID-19 vaccine is all set to begin tomorrow. India to begin inoculation of the precautionary third dose, or a booster dose as it's called, tomorrow. Appointments for the third booster shot are already open via the CoWIN app. Precautionary COVID dose will be given to healthcare and frontline workers, and those over 60 years of age with comorbidities on consultation with a doctor can get a shot. The eligible population now who have taken 2 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine can directly take an appointment or walk into any vaccination center. According to the government guidelines, shots will be given 9 months after the second dose of the COVID vaccine. According to guidelines, precautionary dose will be the same vaccine administered previously in the first 2 doses.
साठ वर्ष से ऊपर की आयु के कोमॉर्बिडिटी वाले नागरिकों को उनके डॉक्टर की सलाह पर वैक्सीन की प्रिकॉशन डोज का विकल्प उनके लिए उपलब्ध होगा। ये भी 10 जनवरी से प्रारंभ होगा।
Finally, the much-awaited moment is here. India starts vaccinating its eligible population with the precautionary dose, popularly known as the booster dose, 10th of January onwards. Healthcare workers, frontline workers, and those above the age of 60 with comorbidities are eligible. Appointments for the third vaccine shot earlier opened on CoWIN. This is the online appointment facility. There is no need for new registration for those taking the precautionary dose of COVID-19 vaccine. The government has even said that those who do not want to take an appointment online can do a walk-in. There is no need for a comorbidity certificate to be produced before the third dose. Those who are taking an appointment or walking in must know that their wait for the third dose might just get longer if 9 months have not lapsed since you got your second dose. Also, if you're infected right now, then you have to wait for 3 months for your precautionary dose. Well, if you've had an infection recently, then again, you have to wait for 3 months since the day you turned negative. The government has also said that the third dose will be of the same vaccine given in the past to the recipient. Mixing of doses is not allowed.
The precautionary vaccine dose that will be given to healthcare workers, frontline workers, and individuals 60 years and above with comorbidities will be the same vaccine as has been given to them previously.
Government sources say that there have been concerns about severe reactions in mixing doses, a risk they could not afford to take. Experts, however, say that this is not the best way forward and that using a third type of a vaccine for the precautionary dose should have been ideal.
There is a group of people who hold divergent view. They think that booster should be of different vaccine because it may elicit more immune response and protect you more. However, more research and more data are available. Till that time, please follow the government's diktat and immediately go for boosters.
The only outcome measures we have now are based on mRNA vaccines, which also have the ability to boost the antibody levels 28-fold, which is a lot more than inactivated virus vaccines as well as adenovirus vector vaccines.
Bharat Biotech, the makers of Covaxin, however, say the indigenous vaccine will offer long-term protection as a booster dose as per a study done by Bharat Biotech and the Indian Council of Medical Research. India, meanwhile, is seeing an exponential surge in COVID cases, courtesy the fifth variant of concern. As healthcare system feel the pinch because of the surge, the need to protect the vulnerable is non-negotiable. In New Delhi, Sneha Murdani for India Today.
Now, a political war of words has erupted over Padayatra that the Congress party has carried out from Mekedatu to Bengaluru in Karnataka. Not only has the party defied the COVID protocols imposed in the state there, but also no COVID norms were seen to be followed in that Padayatra. No masks, no social distancing, heavy crowding that was witnessed. Let's have a look.
Without water, there is no life. This is for our Bangalore, this is for the farmers of Karnataka.
Politics, face-off, and now a Padyatra Nataka. Brazen defiance of weekend curfew orders as COVID cases skyrocket. A massive political war has erupted over the Mekadatu Dam row. Led by Karnataka Congress Chief D.K. Shivakumar and Leader of Opposition Siddaramaiah. The Congress in Karnataka kick-started its 10-day-long Padyatra from Mekadatu to Bengaluru, aggressively pushing the long-standing demand of implementing the Mekadatu project across the Kaveri River.
Without water, there is no life. This is for our Bangalore, this is for the farmers of Karnataka. Karnataka, two political party, they want to kill this project, they want to kill the people of Karnataka. Bangalore is not a city in India, it is a city of the world.
The COVID-timed Padyatra deemed politically motivated by Chief Minister Bommai.
ಸಮ್ಮಿಶ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿ.ಕೆ. ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಅವರು ನೀರಾವರಿ ಸಚಿವರಿದ್ದರು. ಅವಾಗಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಅದನ್ನು ಮುಂದುವರಿಸಲಿಲ್ಲ, ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಮತ್ತು ಈ ಕಳೆದ 3 ವರ್ಷ ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲನೂ ಕೂಡ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. ವಿಧಾನಸಭೆಯಲ್ಲೂ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಈಗ ಚುನಾವಣೆ ಹತ್ತಿರ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಏಕಾಏಕಿ ರಾಜಕೀಯ ಪಾದಯಾತ್ರೆಯನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬಹುತೇಕವಾಗಿ ಅವರು
The Padyatra with the theme Namma Neeru Namma Hakku, which means our water, our right, began at the Sangama, the confluence of Kaveri and Arkavati rivers, covering a distance of over 100 kilometers.
The Congress over here is starting this in order to put pressure on the government, stating that the government has not been putting pressure on the central government to go ahead with this. The centre and the state, in fact, Chief Minister Bommai has very clearly stated that what the Congress is doing over here is nothing but political.
When questioned over the need to organize a Padyatra at a time when Karnataka witnesses an unprecedented COVID spike, Shivakumar made a bizarre claim.
They are just creating, they want the number, they are hiking the number, no COVID here. Simply they are hiking the number. Who are coming? They are just harassing people. They are collecting more than 3,000 rupees per visitor who is entering Karnataka. This is a curfew. This is not a COVID curfew. This is a BJP curfew.
The Congress has been demanding that the Bommai government implement the Mekadatu Reservoir project to ensure water for Bengaluru residents. With large number of people gathering and violating all COVID protocols, all eyes are on the Bommai government on the action taken against these violations. With Nolan Pinto from Mekadatu, Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has fired a fresh ammunition there a day after Election Commission has announced dates for 2022 Uttar Pradesh Dangal. Chief Minister has said that 80% of people in Uttar Pradesh have positive energy and will vote for the BJP. The rest of the 20% will not. The remark has now evoked strong reactions from the opposition parties, calling it communal. Samar Srivastava with more on that.
ये चुनाव 80 बनाम 20 का होगा. 80% समर्थन एक तरफ होगा, 20% दूसरी तरफ होगा.
State of war UP locked and loaded. Yogi fires big ammunition post poll dates announcement. Pitting 80% voters with positive energy with the remaining 20% who he claimed were with negative energy. Asserting that the 80% will vote for the BJP only, not the rest.
ये चुनाव 80 बनाम 20 का होगा. 80% समर्थन एक तरफ होगा, 20% दूसरी तरफ होगा. और मुझे लगता 80% सकारात्मक ऊर्जा के साथ आगे बढ़ेंगे. 20% हमेशा विरोध किए हैं, विरोध करेंगे, लेकिन सत्ता बीजेपी की आएगी. बीजेपी फिर सबका साथ सबके विकास के अभियान को आगे बढ़ाने का कार्य करेगी.
The opposition has come out all guns blazing against Yogi, claiming that Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath is pitting 80% Hindus with 20% Muslims in Uttar Pradesh.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी के सांसद और विधायक कुटने और पिटने लगे, तब भाजपा को 80 और 20 की बात याद आई. ये लड़ाई 80 और 20 की नहीं है. ये लड़ाई 15 और 85 की होगी जाके. गड़ी तभी भी भाजपा अपना ठीक कर ले और 15 से भी नीचे आएंगे। ये
योगी आदित्यनाथ जी का 80% और 20% का दावा करना ये साफ तौर से झलकाता है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी अपने किए हुए वादा सबका साथ सबका विकास खुद ही तोड़ती हुई नजर आ रही है। चुनाव हारने के डर से अब वो 80-20 तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति सांप्रदायिकता की तरफ चुनाव को ले जा रहे हैं।
अगर इस तरीके की बयानबाजियां जो धर्म के आधार पर या मजहब के आधार पर या किसी भी कम्युनिटी को टारगेट करती हैं या किसी भी तरीके का पोलराइजेशन समाज में पैदा करने की कोशिश की जाती है, तो मेरा मानना है कि चुनाव आयोग को अज खुद उसका संज्ञान लेना चाहिए, उस पर कार्रवाई करनी चाहिए।
But this is not the first time when Yogi has locked horns with the opposition over any remark.
सरदार पटेल जी, राष्ट्रपिता महात्मा गांधी, जवाहरलाल नेहरू, जिन्ना एक ही संस्था में पढ़ करके बैरिस्टर बन करके आए थे, एक ही जगह पर पढ़ाई लिखाई की उन्होंने, वो बैरिस्टर बने, उन्होंने आजादी दिलाई, उन्हें किसी भी तरीके से किसी का भी संघर्ष करना पड़ा होगा तो वो पीछे नहीं हटे।
एक तरफ सरदार पटेल हैं जो राष्ट्र नायक हैं, दूसरी तरफ खलनायक के रूप में राष्ट्र तोड़क जिन्ना भी हैं। लोग सरदार पटेल की तुलना अगर कोई जिन्ना से करने लग जाए तो ये वोट बैंक की और निकृष्ट राजनीति होगी, जिसके लिए व्यक्ति के लिए देश की कीमत पर राजनीति करना हो सकता है।
Yogi's Abbajan jibe at Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav also sparked a massive war.
राशन मिल रहा होगा ना आप लोगों को? राशन मिल रहा है राशन। क्या ये राशन 2017 के पहले भी मिलता था? क्योंकि तब तो अब्बा जान कहने वाले राशन हजम कर जाते थे।
With the Election Commission banning all physical rallies till January 15th due to COVID spike, Yogi's sharp attack has sent temperature soaring.
It's going to be worth seeing in which favor this statement goes in. Will with BJP, SP, BJP, BSP or Congress? With cameraman Gaurav Gupta, Samad Srivastava for India Today.
Now, there's no end to politics over Prime Minister's security breach, which happened in Punjab on the 5th of January, a day after Punjab Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi said that he had appraised the Congress leader Priyanka Gandhi over security issues and the situation that unfolded there. The BJP has now hit out. Sambit Patra slams Channi today, asking what constitutional post does Priyanka Gandhi hold to keep her in the loop over the Prime Minister's security probe. Here's a listen.
A scary security breach of Prime Minister Modi's convoy. 4 days later, political fireworks refused to die down. Punjab Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi reiterated that there was no threat to Prime Minister Modi.
प्रधानमंत्री ਦੀ ਸਿਕਿਉਰਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਖਤਰੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਜੋੜਿਆ ਜਾਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ। ये बिल्कुल गलत है कि प्रधानमंत्री जी जब पंजाब में आए तो उनकी सिक्योरिटी लैप्स दिखाकर उनको खतरे के साथ कोई जोड़ा जा रहा है। ये राजनीति इसमें नहीं होनी चाहिए।
But Channi briefing Congress General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi Vadra about the probe has triggered a fresh political storm.
अरे मैं फिर कह रहा हूँ, पीएम को यहाँ कोई खतरा नहीं था, ना ही हुआ है, ना ही कभी होगा, और वो बिल्कुल सेफ थे। उनकी सिक्योरिटी चारों तरफ थी, कोई उनके नज़दीक नहीं गया, कोई दूर से कंकर नहीं फेंका, कोई नज़दीक 1 किलोमीटर तक उनके सामने नहीं आया। तो इसमें क्या है? मैंने आपको पहले ही बता दिया था कि प्रियंका गांधी जी से बात हुई थी, जो भी यहाँ बात हुई मैं उनको बता दी थी।
BJP spokesperson Sambit Patra questioned the Punjab Chief Minister, asking who is Priyanka to be briefed about a probe linked to the Prime Minister.
Why was it a compulsion to keep Priyanka Vadra in loop as far as the security of Prime Minister is concerned? This is a very serious issue, and we firmly believe that the Gandhi family should come out clean on this.
The entire BJP unleashing an all-out attack.
The Chief Minister has taken oath of secrecy under the Constitution. Priyanka Vadra Gandhi, that I last checked, does not hold any constitutional position that a Chief Minister needs to report to Priyanka Vadra Gandhi and divulge and share sensitive details pertaining to the Prime Minister's security.
The political face-off over Prime Minister's security lapse is escalating with each passing day. But the big question remains, who is responsible for the massive security lapse?
Another question being asked from the Punjab government is why an FIR was registered against unidentified persons when the farmer leaders were coming on record saying they blocked the road. With video journalist Dilip Sahu, this is Manjeet Sehgal in Chandigarh for India Today.